Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Mystics post-draft media availability for 2024. We will start with an opening statement from General Manager Mike Thibault, and then we will get into questions for Aaliyah, and then we can do questions for Mike. So, Mike, if you want to get started.
Welcome, everybody. This is an exciting night for the Mystics. Aaliyah was one of our biggest targets in this draft, and we just kind of crossed our fingers all day about whether we would get to this point and sweated out the first few picks. I think Aaliyah did too. And I think she's going to be a great addition to our organization. Her passion for the game, how hard she plays, the way she plays at the defensive end is already a ready-made fit for us, I think. And she's been constantly working on expanding her offensive game. And I think we're only going to see her get better and better as time goes by. We're anxious to get her here soon and get started. And, in my conversations with her and hers with our staff, I think there was a great vibe amongst all of us about what can be for her with our organization. So, again, Aaliyah, congratulations, and we'll open it up for questions.
We'll start with questions for Aaliyah. Kareem?
Hey, what's up, Aaliyah? Kareem Copeland, Washington Post. Just talked to you a minute ago.
Hi.
Hey, but a quick follow-up, and Mike touched on it a little bit, and you touched on it a little bit, but I want you to kind of expound a little. Talking about your offensive range and your mid-range game, can you give us a little insight on how you've worked on that these last couple years and how comfortable you are with that now?
Yeah, each and every day, every opportunity I can, I work on my shot, put up lots of shots before and after practice, constantly working on my shot. I think the biggest thing that I've been able to do these past couple of years is to implement that into a game. And, I'm having people respect my shot now, so it's the biggest thing. And going into the league now, just got to make sure that carries over.
Cool. Quick and easy for you. Thank you. See you soon.
Thank you.
Jen?
Hi, Aaliyah. Jen Hadfield with the Next, Mystics beat reporter here. So nice to meet you. Welcome to DC. Just curious for you, what are you most excited about being picked by DC? What do you think the fit is like based on those conversations with Mike that he was talking about?
Yeah, I think the fit that we're really talking about here is not only the program and organization, but I think just the culture that I'm stepping into. Pretty dominant organization last season, and I think that I can just add to that, not only help in that, but I'm just super excited to get things started and to kind of create, but super excited just to instill that discipline that I've gotten from my college careers and just add to my versatility and how I can impact the team in any way.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Tyler?
Hi, Aaliyah. Tyler Byram from Monumental Sports Network. Congratulations on being drafted to the Mystics. My one question is, throughout this draft process, what was maybe one of the things that you were hearing from teams about how you can have a role in the WNBA and what you can project to do at the next level?
I think one of the biggest things that I heard was kind of transferring over what I was able to achieve at UConn into the W, and some of the stuff that I was able to accomplish in terms of playing at the 5 position for my team. I'm stepping into a league where there's more dominant forwards. Sorry, under a train. Dominant forwards in the league, so just right in that sense. But I'm just super excited to play alongside like-minded people and to elevate my game so I can be able to be dominant.
Thank you so much.
Emily?
Hey, questions for Mike. Just in a, class of forwards that was
We're,
so
we're
deep.
doing questions for Aaliyah first.
All right, I'll hang on then.
Is Liban still on there?
Yes, Haley Ali Ben Osborne from Toronto Star. Wanted to know, your name gets called, and I think the first person you hugged was your mom. Wanted to know what was that moment? It's like you hugged her, it seemed pretty long, and then went back to her, hugged her again. Did you say anything to her in that moment? And what was that embrace like for you?
Great embrace for me. She really just said that she's super proud of me and that I've made it. And it was really important to me, a special moment for me, not only because I got to share that moment with her, but all the sacrifice and all the support that she's put towards me, towards the passion that I put into this game and the opportunities that I've been able to earn throughout my whole career. It's not easy coming from Canada and coming to the States and try to make a name for yourself, but make an impact, which is the most important thing for me. So I think it was like all those feels in one. And, everyone loves a mama embrace, especially in a special moment like that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Haley?
Hi, Aaliyah. Haley McGoldrick with Sportsnet.ca. I'm not sure if you know this, but you are the second highest Canadian draft pick in the WNBA ever. The only higher is Stacey Dales, who was also picked by the Washington Mystics. You've obviously worked incredibly hard to be WNBA ready, but what does this signify in your journey to be not only picked in the WNBA as a Canadian, but to be picked so high after all your hard work?
It's just a credit to my dedication to the team and my dedication to my development. It hasn't been an easy journey, but I think each and every year I try to be accountable just to improve and to elevate myself so that I'm ready for whatever's thrown at me going into this rookie season. I know it's not going to be easy. Giving myself grace is going to be the most important thing, but also knowing my worth and knowing how I can help the team be successful is going to be what I really stick my head to. So yeah, it's crazy to be among 5 Canadians now in the W, and to kind of push the game forward and elevate the game back in Canada. And Washington's so close to Canada, so I'm trying to recruit lots and lots of fans over and to fill the city. So I'm super excited.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we have our last question for Aaliyah. Christos?
Hey, Aaliyah, congratulations, first of all. Speaking about your new teammate, Shakira Austin, what impressed you most about her development into the WNBA, and what can we expect from you playing next to her next season?
Most impressed with Shakira is just how well she was able just to adapt to her role and adapt to finding herself on both ends of the court. I feel like playing alongside some of her teammates and kind of as a rookie, it's not easy, but she looked comfortable and made it look effortless. So I think that's one part of the game that I was impressed with. Playing alongside her, I'm excited. Never played against her in college, but she seems like a very smart IQ player, and we'll see what's to come.
All right, that is all for Aaliyah. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Yeah, feel free to hop off if you need.
Enjoy the evening, Aaliyah.
Thank you. I will. Bye.
All right, we will move on to questions for Mike.
Excuse me.
Kareem.
Hey, Mike.
Hello.
Just a couple quickies real quick, two-parter for you. How do you see her kind of fitting in and complementing both Shakira and Steph? And secondly, you guys have added a couple bigs to the roster during this offseason, and I'm curious is that's also kind of how you envision a style of play with a good abundance of bigs?
Well, I mean, clearly, Elena not coming back, Tiana retiring from the game, those kinds of things. There's spots available on our team. first of all. Secondly, I think that you want to try to get players who complement each other. So when we got Steph Dolson, you're talking about a post player that can stretch the floor and shoot the three and pass the ball. So she and Shakira are compatible together. You can play them together. They're not going to just replace each other and sub for each other in the lineup. And then, you know, you have Maisha and Aaliyah, who are different. They are, you know, fours primarily, who both can play on the perimeter and can both play inside. Aaliyah's last step will be able to stretch her game to the 3-point line. That's not a consistent, comfortable thing for her yet, but it's something she practices and she knows going forward over the next year or two. It'll be a part of, you know, the plan for her to get better. But I think you want to have players that can complement each other and do different things and be able to play differently. So, you know, for Aaliyah, if she plays with Shakira, she'll be the one maybe stretching the floor a little bit more. When she plays with somebody like Steph, and if Steph's at the 3-point line, then she can be the one that's, you know, rolling to the basket or, you know, posting up a little bit more. So we're trying to get versatility as much as we can. That doesn't mean we're going to go and just play a power basketball game. That's not who we are. We still want spacing. We want tempo. We want to shoot the three. But, you know, we're talking about a player in Aaliyah who's one of the elite players in college basketball at finishing at the rim. And, you know, somebody who shot close to 60% or over 60% at the rim is a really valuable tool. And then on that, the other part of it is that she's already a really good defensive player. She knows how to get out and pressure people. She's strong. She can use her physicality, but she's not going to have to guard fives on this team. She's going to play against fours more often, and that's more suited to her.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Appreciate you.
I'm sorry. I've been talking for 2 days straight, so I'm losing my voice.
I bet. Thanks again.
Jen?
Hey, Mike, good to see you. Thanks for doing this.
Thank you.
Can you talk kind of broadly about your draft strategy with all 3 picks? Like, how did you think about that number 6 pick? Did you consider seriously trading up or down? And then how do you feel like your later 2 picks kind of round things out for you?
We considered both, probably more up than down. We weren't sure Aaliyah was going to get to us. We'd actually tried to look at possibly moving up to ensure that we got her. We knew we probably couldn't get to, you know, 2 or 3, but, you know, possibly 4 or 5 to do what we needed. As it turned out, as it got closer to the draft, we had a decent inkling that we had a chance to, you know, do what we did. But, you know, you still sit there and you're at the mercy of teams in front of you, and we kind of waited to see what happened. As for the, you know, the second and third round, we needed a guard that could shoot the 3, but could also play some point guard, could be versatile. And Kaylin Trong is one of those players. I mean, she's a 42% 3-point shooter in college, and that usually translates to our league. She's a terrific passer. I think she was 2nd or 3rd all time in Gonzaga history in assists. And she's a very smart defensive player. You know, for any college guard at that position, it's, you know, an adjustment coming in, but, you know, she's going to be given a legitimate chance to try to make our team. And, you know, I had a chance to see her a little bit more in person at the end of the year. I actually did their TV games in the NCAA tournament. So I got a kind of a even closer look into what I already liked, watching her day to day for 4 or 5 days. As for, Nastia Kleesens, you know, I got a chance to see her in preparing for the Belgium national team in international play. She's been a good young player. She's not going to come this year. She will probably come in a year or 2. She's still kind of filling into her body. She's a really young 19. I think she just turned 19 right before Christmas. So the plan is for her to stay in Europe and play, you know, with the national team this summer and with her pro team next year. She may or may not be on the same pro team, and, you know, see where she is in a year from now. But, you know, 6'1" wing player that can make threes is a really nice, valuable player to have the rights to.
Thank you. The Belgium pipeline continues.
Yes, it does. They have a lot of good players.
All right, we will do two more. Tyler?
Hey, Mike, just a quick one. Going back to Aaliyah, what do you see as kind of the best path forward for her into getting a roster spot for you guys this season, and how she can prove the most over these like next couple of weeks as she fights for a roster spot?
Oh, she's going to have a roster spot. I didn't take her in the first round and not have a roster spot. So, I mean, she's going to have to battle for playing time. I mean, I think it's how quickly she picks things up and doing our homework. The coaches at UConn felt she was well prepared for that part. She's a worker, and she'll do the extra work. She's going to try to get here as soon as she can in the next week to get some extra time with our players before camp. I think her playing time will be a little bit dependent on, just how she fits with the different groups and what kind of matchups we have. And then part of her progress is going to be, as she said before, continuing to improve her offensive game the farther out from the basket. I think, this year, because of UConn's injuries and everything else, she had to play a lot at the 5. Her natural position in our league is the 4. And I think, that's going to be a little bit more of an adjustment facing up more often maybe than she did in college. But she played a lot at the high post at UConn and was a great passer in their system. So it's just kind of, how quickly she can, soak it up and learn learn what we want.
Thank you.
Last question, Liban.
Hey, I was just wondering, you talked about potentially trading up to get Aaliyah. I just wanted to know, how long have you been following her, and what made her the pick for you guys?
Well, we've been following her since she was a freshman in college. When you're in a national program like that and you are well known as a freshman, it's easy to follow all along. Obviously, UConn players have a great success rate in our league. We've had all of our staff be at practices, games, all the top picks we've seen a lot. And we just felt like she was the best fit for the personnel we already have. Sometimes people speculate we should take so-and-so and they're a really good player, but if they play the same position of somebody you already have or the same spots on the floor, it's really hard to find time for them. And so we had to find a player that could complement the ones that we already have instead of doing exactly the same things and not getting enough playing time. So, that was a big part of the decision. She had a great interview with us. We had about an hour and a half, close to an hour and a half interview with her last week. And everything we thought about fit when we spoke with her. We interviewed about 15 or 16 players for the draft face to face.
Gotcha. And she was one of those, like, face to face?
Well, at this point we're doing Zooms, but it wasn't like a pick up the phone and call them.
Yeah.
With the short amount of time between the Final Four and the draft, very few teams had an opportunity to do any face-to-face interviews. We did most of ours by Zoom with 6 or 7 people on our staff.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
Yep.
That concludes tonight's media availability. Thank you, Mike, and we will see the rest of you guys during training camp.
Thank you all.